Amal Clooney, known worldwide as a brilliant human rights lawyer and the wife of beloved actor George Clooney, is not someone easily shaken. Calm, poised, and collected, Amal has stood in front of some of the world's most powerful institutions and never lost her composure. But in a recent candid interview, the usually reserved Amal opened up like never before. Her voice trembled, and for the first time publicly, she broke down in tears recalling the terrifying moment George Clooney suffered a health crisis that could have changed everything in their lives. According to Amal, it started like any ordinary day. George had been working hard on a new film project, pushing through long days, sleepless nights, and physically demanding stunts. Amal remembered gently warning him about overworking himself, concerned for his well-being. But George, ever the dedicated professional, kept reassuring her he was fine, until he wasn't. It happened suddenly. George Clooney collapsed in their Lake Como home and was rushed to a hospital under emergency care. Amal described the phone call she received from the house staff as the single most terrifying moment of her life. "I thought I was going to lose him," she said, tears visibly rolling down her cheeks as she revisited that awful night. "There was panic, confusion, and I was thousands of miles away. I felt helpless." She flew immediately to be by George's side, and what awaited her in that hospital room was something no spouse is ever prepared for. The man she'd built a life with, shared dreams with, and raised children with, was lying pale and weak, surrounded by monitors and an anxious medical team. The doctors were still trying to determine the cause. Was it stress, exhaustion, an underlying condition that had gone unnoticed? "I was terrified," Amal admitted, her voice cracking. "I had this paralyzing thought. What if the love of my life doesn't come out of this?" For someone who spends her professional life defending human rights victims in war-torn countries, this personal fight, one against time and mortality, was utterly overwhelming. Thankfully, George stabilized after a few critical days. The health scare turned out to be a serious but manageable issue, a mix of extreme exhaustion, dehydration, and dangerously low blood pressure. The actor, who has always been a strong advocate of health and fitness, had unknowingly pushed his body past its limits. But the damage could have been permanent had he not received urgent care. Amal was by his side every moment. She paused her legal cases, cancelled high-level meetings, and transformed into George's full-time caregiver. "I held his hand and reminded him of the kids," she revealed. "I needed him to know we needed him, me, the twins, the world." That harrowing experience deeply changed both of them. George, now more vocal about health and mental wellness, recently admitted in an interview that the health scare was his wake-up call. "I thought I was invincible," he said. "Turns out, even Batman needs rest." The experience didn't just shake Amal and George, it brought them even closer. Amal mentioned that they'd faced challenges before, including the difficulty of balancing two high-profile careers, raising twins, and constantly being under media scrutiny. But nothing compared to the fear of possibly losing each other. They emerged from that crisis more grounded than ever. Amal described how she and George have since implemented major lifestyle changes. "We now schedule everything around family and health," she said. "George meditates daily. We eat better. And most importantly, we talk, really talk." Amal's vulnerability in sharing this deeply personal chapter of their lives has touched many. Known for her ironclad legal demeanor, this glimpse into her human side, her fear, her tears, her strength, has made fans around the world feel even more connected to her. She reminded everyone watching that even in the most glamorous lives, fear and love are as real as ever. After Amal's emotional interview aired, fans and fellow celebrities flooded social media with messages of love and support. Messages poured in praising her bravery for opening up and George's strength in recovery. Celebrities like Julia Roberts, Brad Pitt, and even political figures who've worked with Amal personally reached out, some sharing their own experiences with health scares in high-profile marriages. Today, George is doing well, and Amal continues her work advocating for justice on the global stage. Their children, Alexander and Ella, are thriving, and the Clooney household has taken on a much slower, more intentional pace. Amal's emotional revelation about George's health scare has sparked conversations everywhere about burnout, ignoring warning signs, and the importance of being present for those we love. In a world where celebrity news often centers around scandal and superficial headlines, this story cuts deeper. It's about love, loss, fear, and what it truly means to stand by someone, not just in the spotlight but when the cameras are off, and life feels most uncertain. If this powerful story touched you the way it did us, please subscribe to the channel and tap the notification bell so you never miss the emotional, inspiring, and real-life moments that happen beyond the red carpet. The world may see glitz and glamour, but it's these intimate stories that truly define our favorite stars.